anything a man can do, a woman can do, you know. Sometimes better. But hey.
So yeah, I've watched the series so far. What a show. Like, I'm so gripped by just the first 2 episodes. So
good, I'm glad.
Yeah, can't wait to carry on watching. And also hilarious.
It is funny. It is funny. And I think that that's what, you know, when you think of like a procedural police drama, you don't automatically think comedy as well, but I think it being like a Howard Overman show, he always brings like a flair of comedy to things. So,
there was so many times I was cracking up. I was like, this is so good. So we are seeing more and more female leads within TV, which is amazing, but women are still massively underrepresented. Why is it important that we see more women taking on roles that stereotypically and historically men have usually taken on?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so important because anything a man can do, a woman can do, you know. Sometimes better. But hey, no, I just think that as long as we keep seeing women in positions of power and doing these incredible jobs and doing them really, really well, then long may it continue. And I think, I feel really proud to be, you know, leading a show and playing this really strong detective and,
100%. Are there any roles in particular that you'd love to see more women step into that have historically been more male-dominated roles?
Yeah, I think I would love to see women in like, you know, quite like political roles and like, you know, in positions of power in that sense, because the way the world is, you know, men seem to like run the world, unfortunately. Whereas I think that if women were in positions of power, things would just be so much more diplomatic and good and nice.
100%. Yeah. And Bella is such a confident, unapologetic character. What is something that you are completely unapologetic about in your own life?
I think I'm really completely unapologetic about being radically honest. You know, me and my best friend always say, you can be honest, obviously, but don't be stupid. But I think you have to be honest about how you feel or things that affect you, or, you know, never be scared to speak up. So I think honesty is something I'm very unapologetic about.
Love that. Always be honest.
Yes.
And what is sort of one thing that stood out to me with Bella's character was how she almost took on the male role within the dynamic between her and Leo. I guess like when you like talking about like the dating life, it was like referring to the men with their job titles rather than their names and
so
drinking
funny.
beer and things like that. So yeah, love to see it first of all.
Great.
But yeah, she's super confident and direct and almost flips that stereotype of what we often see with male characters. Was that something that sort of stood out to you when you first read the script?
Yeah, I think it's something that stood out to me, but like, it's also something that myself and my female friends, we are like that in our day-to-day lives. Like, you know, we are outspoken, we are funny, we have banter and all of that. You know, it's this, we're never falling into this whole thing that women should be seen and not heard. And yeah, I just think that women can be funny too, you know, and they can be outspoken and all of those things. So yeah.
Love that. It sounds like this character was made for you.
I think so.
And then we're going to dream big. What sort of like the dream role that you would love to take on that has stereotypically been a male role? We want to manifest it for you. What would that look like?
You know what? Maybe something like a superhero that saves the world. Sort of thing, you know. I'd quite like to do something like that.
Okay, we're going to watch out for it, and when it happens, we're going to be like, we manifested it right here.
Yes.
I saw that you previously spoken about how you were the only person of colour at your drama school. I just wondered, do you ever find yourself still in that space today? And if so, what do you think is actually stopping the door from being open for young aspiring actors?
Yeah, I think when I was at drama school, so I was at drama school back in 2011, I want to say is when I first joined. Times have really shifted since then. They really have. And I think at the time, I was the only person of colour in my year group, and I didn't really notice it as much until I was in the third and final year, and I was sort of like, okay. And I remember it not feeling totally nice and totally great. But I know times have shifted. I think things can always and should always get better. In terms of nowadays, very rarely and I cannot think of it off the top of my head if I've been in a situation like that again, which is an amazing thing. Of course, there is still room for improvement and representation and diversity. We still need to keep doing the work, because if we become complacent, then, you know, things can become stagnant. So, yeah.
The double yoke opening clips just had me gripped. I was like, this is so niche, but so fun. And also the double yoke thing is like a symbol of good luck, right?
Yeah.
So have you got any lucky charms? Is there something that you do, a ritual, something that you do that you, before you go on set, or just in everyday life?
Oh, God, no, I've got the worst one, and it's just, it plagues my life, and I'm like, I wish this never ended. You know, the magpie thing.
Ah, yeah.
If I see one magpie, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be a terrible day, and then I'm like looking for another one. If I see two magpies, I'm like, the good luck's coming, good luck's coming. So magpies are my thing. So
Got you.
Yeah.
Love it. And at the Female Lead, we're really passionate about women's rights, and I know that you're an ambassador for Refuge.
Yeah.
So what changes would you like to see happen for women, and what made you originally want to support the charity?
So originally I came involved with the charity when I was doing a role in Top Boy, where my character was going through domestic abuse. So I reached out to the charity, just sort of like, I called the helpline, and I was like, so the first thing I said, immediately I was like, this isn't an emergency, this is a really weird request, and please do tell me to get off the phone call, give me another number. And I sort of explained, I'm an actress, I've got this role coming up, and I'd love to just have some advice, speak to somebody. And they were so lovely, put me in contact with their team, and yeah, it just sort of snowballed from there, really. They just went above and beyond to support me and help me and guide me and introduce me to incredible women. And it was just, yeah, and then afterwards they asked me if I'd love to come on board as an ambassador, and I just immediately just jumped at the chance. So yeah, that was a really, really special moment.
Oh, well, amazing work, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you.